I always fuck with the little countdown music. Yeah. I'm always like, hey, that guy goes kind of hard. What's up, everybody? Appreciate everybody being here this evening with us. It is a later evening, but hey, you know, we be on that CPT. Or is it just CP? CP time? It ain't CPT, it's just CP. CP time. So, you know, sometimes we're on time, sometimes we're not. But we appreciate everybody being here this evening. Marcus, how are you since last time we saw you?
Tired today. Tired.
I feel it.
Other than that, I'm good.
I definitely feel that. Chill.
I'm physically tired because I've been getting the gym, you know. Feel free to compliment.
Oh, okay. Or not. Hope you got a permit for them guns.
Yeah. Corey, have you been since last time we saw you?
Tired. Working.
I feel like that's just everybody. We are all tired. I am tired. I was just telling my mom yesterday on the phone, I am mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. And my landlord still has not cashed May's rent. I don't know what's going on with this woman. I have no idea. I think I told y'all that the last time. I thought I told y'all that the last time we was on here that, you know, I have to move in May, sir. May.
We're like
May.
months going on.
It's July.
Right.
I know, right? I text her this morning and I was like, hey, just checking on you. She didn't text me back. She didn't even open it. She has her read receipts on. I haven't talked to this woman since May.
Okay,
so
May, June, and July all just on hold and just pending.
I mean, I paid her. I've paid her. She just ain't. Yeah, she just ain't. So I'm like, I have no idea. Her husband texted me from her phone back in May and said she was unavailable, and I have not heard from her since.
That's scary.
People, I know. My friends think she's dead.
Damn.
It is sketchy. It's very sketchy. I'm just like, ma'am, I need you to take.
She's unavailable.
Yeah.
She has sickle cell. Her parents have sickle cell, and she's part of the people that the government is trying to obtain. That's all.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, I just need her to take that money out of my account so I can move about the country how I want. Because I got to tiptoe around money. But this last check she got was a money order. Because I'm like, no, we got to get this money up out of my account. Because I'm going to end up spending that. So, but yeah.
I always do money orders, so I don't. And I've been in this situation one too many times.
She's weird. She's weird.
You been in a situation where the landlord
No, definitely not disappeared, but I've definitely been in a situation where the landlord has not cashed multiple times.
I was going to say, if you've been in multiple situations where the landlord disappeared, I think it's you.
Definitely not disappeared, but definitely did not cash the check whatsoever.
Oh well, she doesn't have to cash these if she don't want to. But let's get to it. Let's see. What's the first thing we got? Where do we want to start? We want to start and get Agatha out the way. I mean, I don't really feel like we need to watch this trailer. Do we need to pull that trailer up? Is that something? Yeah, so I say.
No, you don't really need to.
It is worse than I thought. And the reason I say it's worse than I thought is just simply because it's very... It's not worse than I thought, as in like it's very Phase 4. It's very She-Hulk, very Ms. Marvel.
Wow.
It's giving me those vibes.
It's very Phase 4, and I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah, it is very Phase 4. The jokes, the what witches would want to follow Agatha Harkness down witches, or when she said what witches want to join Agatha's coven, and all that, I'm like, I think this might actually, and it's crazy, this might actually be the first Marvel thing I skip. I said the same thing about Echo, but the difference in Echo was that trailer was actually really phenomenal for Echo. I thought that trailer, that for me, it blew me away. I was like, "That's Echo. We doing that in Echo?" But then I watched Echo. Yeah, this is just the same for me. It's a lot of the same.
This is gonna be my second skip because I did skip Echo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I will be skipping Agatha.
I think this reminded me of the problem that the MCU is having with trying to be like ever expanding. They're all about acquisition. They're always trying to gain new fans. Until they're always introducing new property. Which at a certain point in time in our fandom of the MCU, exactly what we wanted. But at this current moment that we stand, where they're the characters that they're choosing to introduce just continue to be puzzling as to why.
Mm-hmm.
This is a problem. Like, this isn't connected to anything. This is connected to a TV show that happened
years
ago.
4 years ago
now, and
4 years ago.
Movie that happened 2 years ago.
Right.
So it's like, what are we doing? I seen little Billy in there, right? Wiccan. I seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Only he's not acting like himself. Himself in the show,
or in
the TV show, or in the comics.
Right.
Like, who is this Billy Porter in a white boy's body? Who is this?
One of my fears, and this is not like, this is not a crutch or anything, but one of my fears with Billy was because Marvel and Disney and the society we currently live in and trying to check all the boxes, but that they were going to take him being gay from the comics and overblow it and the thing about it is, in the comics, there's nothing wrong with Billy being gay, because in the comics, it's not something that is.
You don't act like that.
No, not at all.
That's like pushed in your face or like shoved down your throat. It's a very normalized.
It's just who the character. Yeah, it's just who the character is, and just in the little snippets we got of him in this, he's flaming.
I mean, he's very flamboyant, which is again odd. And again, why does he even need to be a part of this show? If he was going to bring Billy back, you could have showed us that in Multiverse of Madness. Could have been an extra after credit scene in WandaVision. Why did he need to be stuck with Agatha Harkness?
Did you hear the synopsis of how what happened?
No,
of why Billy? Okay, so this is what they say, and this is, I don't know if this is true or not. Again, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to play the part where we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he didn't say anything, but he was wimpy,
Well, you can go to the part. You can go to the part where she's here. Go back a little bit more. Yeah, that part. That's the one that I was talking about. Yeah, I think it's somewhere.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road. I'm gonna walk the witch's road. The road is a death wish.
Who cares about any of that?
Join me.
I love Aubrey Plaza, but what is she doing in this?
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven? Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
So you need the way he just said,
Again, I don't see why we couldn't find a villain that already exists in the MCU, repurpose it to continue to build on what is already there. But they throwing out new characters that nobody gives a shit about. Meanwhile, we got plot threads from phase 1 that they haven't followed up on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's puzzling. It's not puzzling from the standpoint that they're coming from or the social tenor that they're choosing to take. It's puzzling from the standpoint of, how did you land on this character? How did
Meanwhile,
Darkness being the character that gets a show after WandaVision? Of all of the characters that could have gotten a show, she got a show before Vision. She got a show before Monica Rambeau. She got a show before any of the sword agents that are supposedly walking around here, right? We haven't seen Sword. Well, no, they came back in the Marvels, barely.
I mean, well, Blade was announced before WandaVision even came out, and we still can't even get Blade off the ground.
But
So,
Catherine Hahn in an MCU film or MCU project?
oh yeah, no,
I honestly think they did the whole Agatha thing because when she like revealed herself in WandaVision, like the whole song just went so viral.
I hate to say that, but I feel like that's why we're here.
And I feel like they were just like, well, let's just attack, like let's just hold on to it, and then it didn't help that we had a strike, and it's just, and then at this point, it's just like even if we got it back then, even if we got it now, like you've been saying, Marcus, like what does this have to do with what
I would slightly disagree on the back then because WandaVision was an experience. If you remember those days for WandaVision, that's when Marvel, they didn't have that whole thing figured out with Disney Plus yet. They were dropping the shows at 2 a.m. People were staying up or setting their alarms. So 2 a.m. I was to watch it. So I could say probably back then, if you would have come right off the heels of WandaVision with Agatha, this probably would have been better received.
Probably.
Maybe still not in this better received, but still probably received the same way a lot of the Phase 4 projects were received because it's still made in that same Phase 4 vein. Regardless of it coming off the heels of WandaVision or not, it's still made in that same Phase 4 formula. So it's, why she got her own show, I think is because of the reception of, one, Catherine Hahn, I was going to piggyback off what you said, Marcus. Catherine Hahn, phenomenal. I love her in everything, almost everything she's in. I think Catherine Hahn's a brilliant actress. One, her. Two, just again, WandaVision. And three, like Corey said, the song went viral, and it just, people love her. People love Catherine Hahn.
And four, there was a woman's demographic to check.
Yeah.
So that's viral song, woman, Catherine Hahn.
That's it. That's what I would say. And the popularity of WandaVision. They were really rolling on that one. Because I think at that time, that formula they had for WandaVision, that worked. That shit worked. That COVID killed them. COVID really hurt them. COVID really, really hurt them.
What about WandaVision 2? Ooh. Or WandaVision Season 2. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, they can't afford that. They can afford to write the word Wanda Maximoff on a notepad, but all that money to Elizabeth Olsen, nah.
That part.
You can't just take the $20 million that you paid her to be in that movie and stretch it out over 8 episodes?
You could.
She loves playing the character, though, she says anyway, so she always talking.
At the inception, at the core of every problem with Marvel, it's that the characters and the actors cost too much money. If they knew what they were doing in 2015 in Age of Ultron, they would have selected an actress who would have agreed to a 20-year deal for movies, TV shows, TikToks, everything is covered. They should have had that, but they didn't. And here we are now where WandaVision was successful. They should warrant a season 2, but it would take renegotiating with a contract, and they don't want to pay the money.
Yeah, but that's also the cost of business, man. Like, you don't think that the actors in season 1 of Game of Thrones were making a tenth of what they were making by season 8? Like that's part of the business. You get paid when the show gets more popular. The more seasons you do, the more episodes you shoot. You should be able to renegotiate, especially if it's a successful product.
Season 1 of Game of Thrones, yes. Season 4 of Game of Thrones, which is when she signed on. She signed on for Age of Ultron. They were already a successful franchise. You should have got them long term for deals that they would have agreed to do at the time.
Right. I don't think any good representation is going to advise you to lock yourself into a standard deal for that takes you beyond what your short-term goals are. So if you're an actor just breaking into the MCU, I don't think any good representation would advise you to take a 20-year deal because you don't even know where you're going to be in 10 years, let alone 20. You have no idea what this deal is going to look like, inflation, what the market's going to dictate, what you are going to be as a star. Like, you have no clue. So like even to say to come in and be like how they did Samuel L. Jackson, right? That's pretty much what we're talking about, right? But at that time, that was one of the biggest deals in Hollywood. That was one of the biggest deals in Hollywood. A 10-year deal with Marvel Studios was probably the biggest thing on the table for Samuel Jackson. So if they were going to do something like that, they'd have to make it even more expensive than what it would be just to pay her a one-time fee for a movie.
Yeah, towards the back end of that mega deal, there's going to be more payment. Like, remember when Amber Heard was on trial? They paid me $500K for the first movie. Then it was $1 million, and then it was something else. It got higher for the third movie.
But the following movies, the second one and the potential third that never came to pass, wasn't guaranteed. Right? Like
it also wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed. So it's very fluid. I get what you're saying. You want to lock the characters in for long-term deals so you're not constantly negotiating. I think it happens at a certain point that you're going to have to come back to the table because now everything's bigger than what we were when we started.
Right.
David Cornsweet. They're starting from zero. That guy is not a name actor. Whatever James Gunn and Peter Safran offered him was long-term. And they will have no restriction because James Gunn's a smart guy. They'll have no worries about
future.
This TV show. What does the contract say? They will have taken care of all of that. And Cornsweet knows, listen, there's not really going to be a lot of time for me to be doing anything else other than DC because of all the cameos here and the video game voice I'm going to do there and all that.
Okay. I mean, I do think probably for the foreseeable future he's locked in. So we'll probably see 2-3 movies from him. If they get anywhere near $1 billion with one of those movies, he's coming back to the table. He has to. He has to.
Just like Chadwick tried to do that for Black Panther.
It's not smart business for you to accept a deal that you were making when you were nobody, and now you're the biggest star in Hollywood, and you're taking the same money that they gave a nobody. That's bad business.
Brie Larson and Chadwick Boseman both approached Marvel Studios with that. Brie did get what she wanted, or she got in renegotiation. They probably added something to it, for all I know. Chadwick
Scarlett Johansson as well.
I don't think Chadwick was successful. I believe he didn't get the bonus he looked for.
Scarlett Johansson did as well, and she was successful. Her movie came out, and she got a payout.
Hold on. There's 2 moments, and I think you're referencing the one with Black Widow. Are you?
Yeah, where she essentially sued them for releasing it on digital exclusively.
Not that moment, but when Age of Ultron was happening. And Robert Downey was putting his foot down saying, you're going to pay all these actors what they're worth or I'm not coming. And they had to do it. And they upped everybody. Everyone was renegotiated in order to have Tony Stark Iron Man in it because Robert Downey was out of a contract. He signed for 3 pictures. Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Avengers.
And what do you think he did when he came back to the table? He used his leverage to get what he wanted. But you think that he didn't get a pay increase as well?
Right. Because you
know
think
Robert Downey Jr. was balling for the same ticket that he was going for in the first 3 movies.
Oh, yeah. He got percentage points off of the gross.
Right. But that's more money, right? He got an increase to his compensation.
Oh, RDJ was getting paid.
And look, when they purchased him or when they signed him, they're thinking, oh, what a steal. We're going to get 3 movies out of this guy. And we're on movie 33 right now. We would have signed this guy for a lot more longer.
That's the thing, right? Like when he was making Iron Man 1 and 2, they weren't thinking that they were going to have a universe to build on for the next 15 years. Right. So when that became something that is now on the horizon in the picture, if I'm Robert Downey Jr., I'm like, yeah, that little $5 million a picture was cool, but now I want points and I want 20.
Or you gonna say no? Iron Man?
Are you going to say no? No, but they clearly didn't say no, though. They did not. They didn't say no.
Yeah, this motherfucker was making...
It depends on who's asking. Because Taraji can't get shit.
RDJ was making goo wop just a cameo.
Yeah. Nice little goo wop.
Yeah. I guarantee you. Let's just say and we can move to the next topic here in just a second. I don't know if he is going to show up in anything else. Well, obviously he's going to show up in other things, but I'm talking about like before Secret Wars or anything like that. I'm sure they've talked about it or whatever. There was the whole rumors of him maybe even showing up in Ironheart or Armor Wars as like the, like the hologram deal at the end of Endgame. Oh yeah, brother's going to get goo-wop.
Oh yeah.
Goo-wop for that. He is the godfather of the MCU. If he wanted to, when he walks into any room and talks with Marvel, he could tell them, and without me, and this is true, we wouldn't be sitting here. So, yeah. Motherfucker's getting paid. He's getting money. But, yeah, Agatha. I also think too that they showed Agatha so early with SDCC around the corner because they're like, let's just push this shit out.
Can I ask a question? So if Agatha's not canceled, if Armor Wars is not canceled, if Ironheart is not canceled, what the fuck did they cut? Could you imagine? Can you imagine the show that they cut if all of this shit is still going?
Well, it was already filmed by the time that Iger made that statement of we're quietly canceling things. They weren't gonna get rid of Wonder Man, which was already being like filmed and everything.
Well, yeah, I knew Wonder Man was already being filmed. I don't know if Armor Wars is done now at all. Like I think there's still time to shoot Armor Wars.
Cancel.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just gonna get it.
When did Ironheart finish shooting?
Didn't Ironheart a while ago, didn't it? It was a while ago. Because Ironheart was supposed to have been out. It's been done. Ironheart was supposed to come out a long time ago.
Either it's so terrible that they don't want to show
it's
it,
that
bingo. Or they fumbled it and they've waited too long and now they're trying to find a more advantageous window to put it in.
I think it's both. It's both.
Yeah.
They fumbled it because it's been too long. They thought that Wakanda Forever was going to hit. They thought Dominic's presence in that was really going to hit with the audience, and they were going to be like, "Oh shit, we can't wait to see Ironheart next." Didn't do that. Nobody gives a fuck. They're going to treat Ironheart the way they treated Echo. Echo was originally 9 episodes, got condensed down to 5. I guarantee we're going to hear Ironheart's going to go from however many episodes condensed down because they don't give a fuck about this shit. Don't care about it.
And then they're going to drop all the episodes at once.
That too. I don't think it's going to be a week-to-week thing. They're going to drop because they want to, like Agatha, they want to get this shit done. They want to get it done. And to be honest, I think with Ironheart, if they could just somehow make people forget Men in Black, everybody, they would just not do it. Because it's not, I mean, like I said.
But money has already been spent.
Yep, money's been spent. We were told, oh, we're going to explore Tony Stark's tech more, and we'll get to see this and get to see that. No one gives a shit about Ironheart. No one gave a shit. And it's not Dominic. God bless her little heart. Right. You put her in an impossible situation. You put her in a funeral and expected her to get popularity from a funeral. Nobody's paying attention to her in the funeral.
You set her up to fail.
She didn't have a place in.
Yeah, like what?
It was the most random appearance of a character for Wakanda. And honestly, I can't find any other reason than, oh, she's Black, she'll fit in.
That's it.
She'll Black, she'll fit in. It's
the
like
Queen Mother sacrificed herself for this rando. What?
Yeah, we got Ironheart and Wakanda. We got Agatha Harkness bringing Billy back to life, I guess, somehow, some way. We got George Washington Bridge fucking with Sam Wilson, even though he's supposed to be in the future with Cable. I just don't understand what we're doing.
So the thing with Billy is after the Hex. This is not from Marvel. I don't believe official from Marvel, but after the Hex, Billy's spirit, the fake spirit, his fake spirit. Yeah, his fake spirit. It was.
He doesn't have one of those.
Something with Billy was wandering around in the Hex after the Hex, and it latched on to the boy that is Joe Locke, the character Joe Locke is playing. He was in a car wreck. That boy was going to die. His spirit or whatever he is went into that boy and now inhabits in him and is now Billy Kaplan.
Tell me that the ultra Christian company is not turning Wanda Maximoff into God. You mean not only can she create a being off of her mind, but she can give it a soul? So Wanda Jesus. Wanda Jesus. Okay. All right. Sacrilege.
I mean, she got the silk press for it.
And again, that's not official from Marvel. That is just what I have heard. That is the story of now. The kid now. What's his name? Tommy. I do not believe is in the show. I believe Tommy is mentioned or something like that, but there is the actor that is supposed to be playing him already.
Right. Where'd he go? Why?
I have no idea.
Where's Speed at?
No idea.
think that's some shit.
It's weird. I think that's weird.
But that's Agatha.
We're gonna do
So
this
what-
whole show and just pretend that there wasn't nobody else soul out there floating around, huh?
Right. Like he's just the only one.
I think Tommy's in Vision Quest. I don't
Okay.
think
that's
he's.
happening.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh no, that's still a thing. No, brother. I promise you. I bet you that's still a thing.
Catherine Hahn gets a Coven Witch show before.
Actually, it's you can look that up. That's not a rumor anymore. That is official. I remember the trades, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, all reported on Vision Quest being Paul Bettany's next Marvel thing.
My God.
I'll take your word for it. Here, right here. Unknown Vision series for 2026. Let me say one thing. All right. These shows have been announced years ago. Daredevil, Ironheart, they kind of committed to making these, and they're produced. Eyes of Wakanda, all of these. But everything afterward, and Wonder Man also. But we really haven't heard about a new show in a couple of years. Everything that we see here, we've been knowing about.
Mhm.
I think that they've stopped. Marvel decided, look, these TV shows are not what we thought it would be. It's not pushing Disney Plus subscriptions. It was a good idea. We thought we'd sell merch off of it. It's not happening. And they're just like, well, we still got these that are in production. Fine. Finish shooting them. We'll just spread apart the release. And now it's not a new TV show every 4 months. And now it's like you might get 2 a year.
But
The last time we had one was Echo in January.
If you're doing 2 a year, and we're going to just get all these shows out the way, right? Now you've extended it.
Yeah.
Now you've taken a bad part of your content and stretched it out over multiple years. How are you supposed to win an audience back over that?
Well, you're making people miss them. Like, man, when was the last good Marvel show? Finally, hey, it's been 6 months, a Marvel show. I think
Yeah,
that's
but
the
there's
idea.
a thin line, though, where you go from people wanting you to come back to just being totally disaffected and walk away.
Right.
And so if you stretch it out over 2, 3, 4 years, come on, man, that's half a decade. How long can you suck before I just give up?
I'm telling you, even though Deadpool is about to knock socks off, and I really do believe that. I've been saying that. I still don't believe it saves the MCU in any type of way, because Brave New World still has to come out.
Right.
So I don't believe that it saves the MCU in any type of way, but I do believe it's going to be great. You said what now?
Did the trailer come out for
They motherfuckers didn't know that. That trailer was never coming out today. Marvel never said that shit. All them. Oh yeah, I haven't seen anything. I haven't been watching anything either. What is this? Is this the original trailer or?
When you're not.
Sorry, I was muted. No, this is the trailer that they just dropped like a day ago. I'll start it over. It's only 30 seconds. But
Yeah,
Agatha.
I haven't watched anything, so I'm with Marcus. I'm gonna have to turn.
Is that okay? No, we're not doing it then. Never mind. I'm sorry. No,
I haven't.
seen it.
We're good. We're good.
I haven't seen anything. I'm trying to avoid all. Like, we haven't even been covering Deadpool on the channel. I'm trying to avoid all Deadpool. I want to be shocked.
The only cameos that I know are going to happen is probably most likely the X-Men. But that's it. That was before an official trailer drop. So I don't know shit else besides that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I want to be shocked because this is it. This is it. After this, we get Agatha. That's the only other thing coming out this year from Marvel. So
I'm with you, Johnny Washington. I'm saying ship that shit up creek and try to get your money back.
with Agatha, yeah, or Ironheart too. Yeah. No.
Something that happens in canon, like you know how Batwoman really didn't matter. It's an Elseworld story. They canceled Batwoman or Batgirl. I forget which it was.
Batgirl.
So maybe something happened.
They said that shit was unreleasable.
And then then proceeded to release the Flash, Acolyte 2. I'm like, oh man, it just ain't no way. Either y'all dead ass wrong or that was the worst movie ever made.
I think they were wrong. Because
how did the Flash? Well, the Flash had to come out. That was one of those ones that had to come out. But hey, you had plenty enough time to survey this Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation and make a decision. You have plenty of time, especially because in the middle of you finishing up shooting the show, your studio was in flux. That's a perfect excuse to put that production on hold. You don't know who's running the show.
That's true.
Stop. And they made it anyway.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Well, Johnny had an idea. I'm going to suggest something else. What if we take the show and put it on linear television? It could be on ABC on a Sunday night for 6 weeks. Get the money off of the commercials, and then also put it on binge right after because it's working for House of the Dragon when they got it on TV.
That is where I have to stop you. There is not shit on television right now that is comparing to the House of Dragon, and there's not shit Marvel is doing that is comparing to the House of Dragon.
You got to avoid Sunday.
Yeah, but see, here's my thing.
Saturday evening, 7 o'clock, for the 40 and ups.
Maybe. Here's the thing, though. We've all been watching. Maybe we haven't all been watching. I've still been putting on my clown mask every Tuesday night and watching Acolyte. So I watched Acolyte this last Tuesday.
I missed the last one.
Hold on, though. Listen, I had to get a haircut. I was supposed to get a haircut earlier that day, and I was like, it's late now. I don't feel like it. Was like 10, 11, and yeah, it was so unremarkable. I was like, yeah, brother, I'm gonna come get my haircut. Cause I was watching the show, I was in bed. I was like, I'm done. I'm about to watch the show. No, it was so unremarkable. I was like, let me just get up and leave because it was awful. It was awful. I'm not going in depth or anything. It was just awful. It's just awful. So if they do that though, like let's say that Ironheart is in the vein of like an Acolyte. Are people still tuning in, even if it is on ABC week to week to watch that?
I'm only trying to say it'll get money.
You said what now, Mark?
I said Acolyte is next level bad.
It is. It is.
There's certain stuff I think if you introduced it to a different audience, one that doesn't have any expectations on what they're watching, you could probably get over on that. On linear, plus you have a much higher chance because there are just more people watching cable. It's always been that way. It's going to be that way for a while, and they're showing you that it continues to be that way because now they're trying to link up with each other to make packages, which is supposed to somehow be different from cable. But anyway, there are millions of people turning these boob tubes on every day and watching cable television. So you have a chance just by the sheer number of people you're putting it in front of to garner some more interest. But things like the Acolytes aren't going to perform anywhere. They should have never been birthed.
Yes. You can put the Acolyte in a theater for free and then tell people this is a free day. Come watch the Acolyte.
Putting it in the theaters, it will cost more than
yeah, no one will go. It's just awful, bro. It's awful. So, but like Xavier said, House of the Dragon has TV on lock right now, and it does. I think House of Dragon this last episode was fun. We all knew it was happening. This last episode was phenomenal. I cannot wait for this next one.
R.I.P. Maylees.
Man.
So good.
Man.
So wait, hold on. So Maylees and Vagar, their former writers were lovers?
Yes.
Balon and
Maylee's former writer was Damon's mom.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Maylee's was Damon's mom, and then Caraxes was
Balon.
Yeah.
The Scepter Balon. That was
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, some great shit, bro. Mike, House of Dragon.
Because they probably were just sitting there thinking, like, "Damn, bro, I don't really want to do this to you." But
I know. I said the same thing. I was like, Maylee's is probably thinking, "Damn, why the fuck is Vagar like this is somebody I've known for a long ass time? Fucking Vagar fucking me up." But Sunfire didn't need to be in that shit anyway because
how does the king end up with the pussiest dragon? He's small. He didn't
the king himself is pussy because the king himself is like Sunfire is the only dragon that speaks English because the king can barely speak High Valyrian. So it's when he said forward Sunfire, I said, "Oh, Sunfire speaks English."
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
and he was speaking English still.
yeah, yeah. No, Sunfly had no business. Sunfly thought they were just going on a ride somewhere,
Right.
and ended up
Just a little baby.
He's like, man, you
fighting.
cut my chest open. We done fell out the sky. What you got me out here with these people for?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Get on my
yeah.
house, dragon.
This
Yeah,
is
no.
bad. Take me
But
home.
he protected him, though. He was bundled up around him. He somehow,
He did protect him.
however that happened.
Yeah, he protected him. They're both fucked, but he protected him. But no, it's I can't wait to see this next episode. You know, it's gonna be great. And there's still dragons we haven't seen. You know, dragons that are untamed right now, and then some that are wild. So, thank you so much for that, Spoiler Kings.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
Yes, he's young.
Yeah, he's young. He's only 15. Johnny Washington says. And
Yeah, he's young.
Practice are 100.
Maylees and Caraxes have been around for a while. Like I said, Caraxes' rider was Rhaenys' mom before it was Daemon.
Yeah,
So they just
literally just a baby.
Yeah, he is. He's a baby, but like I said, that poor baby had no idea what the fuck his rider was getting him into.
No.
He should have flew low and hit the soldiers. You leave them dragons alone.
I like how they did the blood.
As soon as he said, "Go," I went Sunflower. I was like, "What he got this little baby out here doing?"
That's why, like when Rhaenys saw,
he said, "I know that ain't who I think it is."
Yeah, she smiled. Yeah, she smiled. She was like, "Oh, I'm about to fuck him up with this," you know. So
it is super sweet if they sent you. It's over.
But one of the best parts in that whole before the battle at Rook's Rest, it was the conversation between Daemon and Aegon, when Daemon really, you know, put him on notice in front of the entire council. Like, you know, Aegon was like, you know, why are you conspiring with Cole behind my back? And Aemond, all these Aemond started speaking to him in High Valyrian, because he knows, like, your High Valyrian is shit.
Right.
We're about to make you look stupid, and the council knows that.
Tell us what your great plans are, brother.
Yeah, loved it.
War horses.
The council was like, okay.
So first of all, all the council.
Oh, they know he can't. No, I don't think any of them speak High Valyrian.
They understand it at least, because they know what the hell he said wasn't right.
Yeah.
That.
Well, they know that Aemon. They know that Aegon can't speak High Valyrian that great. That's why they was like,
whatever he said was
was some shit. So yeah, no, it's.
I hang them up on one point though.
They're
at Rook's Rest. They're literally preparing for battle. Mm-hmm. They can see them gathering in the forest. They know what's coming. How in the hell did they sneak Vhagar into the forest? Was nobody?
That is true.
Did he walk for miles just to avoid being seen?
That is true. How the fuck did Vhagar, get in there? Because that's a big.
Oh, I didn't even think of it like that.
If you go into war with the Crown and you know they have dragons, the one thing I'm gonna keep my eye out for, long and short, is dragons. So how did he sneak up on them and be able to bury himself in them leaves without anybody seeing? No scouting party.
That's true. Nothing. That's true. That's true. Have you seen?
The only thing I'm gonna hang him up on is like, how the hell did he?
I didn't even think about that. Because you definitely saw him get up, so you would definitely have to see him go down.
He's the night before.
He's right in. Maybe
I was thinking that.
What you say?
That he came the night before.
I was thinking that too. I was gonna say maybe he came at night.
How did he beat Cole and them there from King's Landing? Christian Cole and them was already there. So how did he beat Christian Cole?
Oh, that's true. They were
already there.
He started a fire over on that part, and then while they were distracted.
So let me just muzzle up real quick.
That is true. Yeah, but I was really hoping though they were going. I knew they probably weren't going to show Aegon until the next episode, see his body, but I was hoping they were going to show Rhaenys.
Hey, look at Johnny Washington's comment. Ain't that the truth? All these damn Agons, Amen, David. It's the only reason why they going to war.
Right.
That is true.
Didn't think to ask which Aegon.
That's true. Oh shit. Yeah, no, I can't wait. It's great. I love it. I think what they're doing. I mean, this has even got me even more excited for the Sir Dunk the Tall series coming out. Like I because that's gonna follow Egg, before he becomes Aegon with all his kids. So it's yeah, bro. I love this universe. I think it's great. I think the shows that they're doing are phenomenal. If George R. Martin can ever just finish his books, he was sitting here talking like he just got plethora. Like he was talking, and I don't know. I'm not the seed of time. I don't know what God has planned for George R. Martin's life, but this brother was talking like he was a spring chicken. He was talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna finish this book, and then we're gonna jump over to this book, and I'm still writing that, but I'm gonna get that out before. I'm like, brother,
how many stocks does he really have?
Right.
Yeah. So but I love this universe. So House of Dragon, can't wait for Sunday. I really cannot.
He's 75.
But he's 75. Yeah, brother's talking like he's 25
and obese.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's
health wise.
All right.
I'm just
We don't-
saying.
we're not- Let's not
Science.
speak of somebody's demise, even if it's science.
I just hope he can get a lot of these books out.
Season 8 before he goes, chill. Let's not even talk about the man walking out the door, okay?
Yes.
That too.
George Lucas is 80, right? And there's a high profile creator. Stan Lee lived up till he's 90. Will, when you have money, you've got creativity, everyone you meet is happy to see you, and you're just like, full of endorphins all day long, you'll live longer. See?
Yeah. I like that positivity.
Let's talk. We can do this one quickly because this is not. I feel like this is a long one. Shawn Levy in what are you
He's got a
gasping?
new Star Wars movie, everybody.
We'll see.
So,
see.
This is one of those also that during that era, before kind of Bob Iger made that statement about quality over quantity, and before Indiana Jones flopped and Wiccan, is it called? Wickle?
Willow.
That's not even on Disney Plus anymore.
Yeah.
It's not even worth the cost that
They put so much into that.
Isn't that crazy? Well, during that time, Shawn Levy was promised a Star Wars movie, and we got from Deadline over here on July 10th, the recent article, and it says it has confirmed that Shawn Levy, director of Star Wars movie we first told you about back in 2022, is being penned by Jonathan Tropper. This is a guy who's been in the business for a decade. He's got some TV shows under his belt.
TV shows?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones?
It'll say so in a second.
Here.
Having written his Netflix movie, The Adam Project, which stars Deadpool's Ryan Reynolds. He also wrote the Levy-directed Warner Brothers 2014 drama, This Is Where I Leave You. You got like that one? No? 2017's Netflix dramedy, Cadochrome.
It's a lot of Netflix.
Produced under his 21 Lips banner. So he's got his own little banner for 21 Lips. What else we got? On TV, Tropper created the...
No, go ahead.
The crime thriller series Banshee. We've heard of that one. As well as Warrior. And Warrior. He got like a few episodes of that. And a showrunner and a scribe on Apple TV's Jason Momoa series C. The name Jason Momoa is bigger than the name C. I don't even know.
Yeah, I would say I didn't see that. I didn't see C.
He has work. Okay. He's got some upcoming streaming series, Your Friends and Neighbors. That's going to star John Hamm, Amanda Peet, Olivia Munn. He may not be in everything, and he's not a huge name, but he's a name. And that sounds nice. And for Deadline to give us this news is like, oh, is this movie actually happening? Or is it going to be, do we have to pretend like the Kathleen Kennedy decisions are still happening? And then when her contract's up, we'll just say, oh yeah, by the way, creative differences. What's happening here?
I don't even know what's going on with the Ray film. So it's hard for me to believe that they greenlit another film with another high profile director before they figured out what's going on with Ray. Daisy really doesn't know what's going on with her film either. She has no clue. She doesn't know when it's starting. They haven't done anything yet. There's no script. They have a concept, a director, and a main character. That's it. So it's hard for me to think that, and that's the biggest thing that they have going on right now, other than the Filoni movie with Favreau.
The Favreau movie with Filoni.
Favreau movie with Filoni. However, they whatever. But it's both of them putting their heads together, trying to finish out their brainchilds with Ahsoka and Mando or whatever, and Boba Fett. But brand new, another Patty Jenkins, another Taika Waititi. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's just a name to float to convince you that we're doing something positive, when all along we already denied his treatment. He doesn't want to do our version of it, so we're just going to quietly part ways at an advantageous time.
So you don't think it's happening?
No.
To say the least.
No.
Does Corey think it's happening?
It's not my world. It's not. I'm not quite in there yet.
Okay.
Because this is Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it's not happening. No, go ahead. If you were going to say something first.
Go. I'll change the subject next. Go.
It's not going to happen. This is on top of, as Marcus was saying, the Rey film that Daisy Ridley doesn't know shit about. Besides, she can get in these interviews and say, "Oh, I'm going to be Rey." She can't tell you shit else about it. You've got the James Mangold one that's going to be titled what they say it's titled, Dawn of the Jedi. Don't know anything else about that other than that. You've got the rumored other Daisy Ridley one with Helen Mirren, where she's supposed to play the older version of Rey.
That one.
Don't know if that.
I thought that was J.J. Abrams' movie.
Is that J? Oh, okay, Lindelof.
Lindelof, you're right. Yep, Lindelof.
Then you've got Dave and John doing whatever the fuck they're doing with the Mandoverse. Then you've got the announcement of all these new an animated movie coming out. So I don't think Lucasfilm, again, when you named him and you were naming saying like, oh, he's been and stuff, that's fine, that's great. I like that for him. My issue is it's another Leslie Headland. Does he know anything about Star Wars? Because Leslie sure as fuck doesn't. Leslie got on here today and was talking about some shit with Anakin that I don't even think she understands the character of Anakin. She was talking about how she wants to connect, or if she gets to do a season 2 and oh God, if she gets to do a season 2, how she's going to make it all connect to Plagueis and Palpatine, and it's going to be a messy ride. And I need her.
Plagueis and Ooh.
What do you mean? Rey was born during the Acolyte. Rey is really old in the movies we see her in, so it connects.
Rey,
that's not.
I thought you meant the witches, the damn Force witches in Darth Plagueis, trying to make them a thing together.
No, not the witches, just Plagueis and how Plagueis and Palpatine connect to all this is what she was talking about. She wants to.
As far as we know, Plagueis is the only one that had the power to control life. Again, I don't know what happened in this last episode of the Acolyte, but I'm assuming that gets screwed over somehow in this.
Soul killed the witch mother. He stabbed her with his lightsaber. I left after that. I went to get my hair cut, but he stabbed her with a lightsaber. She turned into some smoke or something, and then he looked around in confusion, pulled out his saber. One of the only times he pulled out a saber in the 6th goddamn it, and stabbed her, and I was just like, oh, so
Black Death for me.
And then you had the Wookiee who finally did fight, but the Wookiee was being controlled by witches. I'm thinking, are these not Jedi Knights? And I get it. It's happened before. Like we've seen that in Clone Wars, where Anakin was controlled or Ahsoka was controlled by different forces. We've seen it. I get that. It's fine. But these were these have been the most unremarkable Jedi. I mean, and I calling them Jedi is a stretch because they're not acting like Jedi.
They're people of Force. They're not Jedi.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're not acting like. It's just unremarkable. It is, and as far as I'm concerned, this is not canon for me. It's not in my head canon. This this is just something they wasted $180,000 on, or $180 million on.
They need to wrap this shit up so that she does not have the ability to utter the name Plagueis. You want to do something with Palpatine and his forever cloning that Disney just won't stop going back to? Okay, fine, whatever. That's more Disney bullshit. You leave Plagueis the fuck alone, okay?
No.
What are they doing?
I've saw these interviews where Leslie Hedden was talking about how she would run things through Pablo. That's the reason why we got what we got. Don't put this on Dave Filoni. Pablo Hidalgo will say, yeah, sure, we can make that, because there's really no line in the movie that says so, and we'll just change this thing. It'll happen.
What are they doing right now with the little Junior Jedi, the cartoon? It's like Junior Jedi. It's like Yoda's in it.
Yeah, the Disney Junior cartoon.
Yes. You want Leslie to write something? Let her write on that. Let her write the next season. She can write the whole next season. She can write the next 2 seasons if she wants. Give Leslie all of that shit. But she needs to stay the fuck away from everything else.
That little show is
it is pretty popular.
Away from that.
Well, put her on that Resistance shit that didn't go anywhere. That cartoon there. But she
Bad Batch. Why she can't write? She can write on Bad Batch.
Yeah, there you go. Give her
obviously, but
good. Yeah, that's what she can write in season 4. She can write the Phantom season.
She just tell her she doesn't have to know that. She doesn't have to know it ended. Like, oh yeah, we're doing a 4th season. We want you to head run it. Yeah, she's like, yeah. So no, it's just funny.
With the implied nudity, she's probably not right for the kids show. She made a line that when she was talking to Mary Sue, if you guys can look at that interview, about how Obi-Wan says in New Hope that the dark side seduced Vader, and she took seduced as
like no.
That's the way she thinks. So this is Leslie Helen for us. These are the creators who they've chosen.
No, I have never wanted to message a creator.
Chips for this opportunity, and this is what we got.
Yes.
No, that is wild.
Chips in the middle of the table, and this is what we got as a result.
Meanwhile, Jon Favreau creates little baby Yoda, which was a great marketing tool. They were selling it without his name. They just called it.
He gave them a money printer, and they shit all over it.
So what did she think? What did she think the dark side was? One of the Twi'leks dancing with Jabba and seducing Anakin? What does she think that? What the fuck? No,
it's new. It's this new idea of faux intelligence. If I could find the devil's advocate in everything, it makes me smarter. If I could find the contrarian point to anything that is deemed as morally good, then, I'm smarter than everyone. I have the real moral barometer here, not you people who are blinded. You're just sheep. This is the real Jedi. Let's peel back the layers a bit.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to message a creator more in my existence. I don't even do that type of shit, but I really want to message her and just like, what are you doing? I do want to show y'all something that is not related to Star Wars, because fuck that.
My last Star Wars point is
go ahead there.
The first movie that's coming out is the Jon Favreau movie, and Charmin Obaid-Chinoy was really upset about that. Kennedy was upset about that. They went on CNN and they did like this whole, it's about time that there's a female voice in the galaxy far, far away. Just like a random interview out of nowhere. It just came out that week. And that was the same week we heard about how Jon Favreau's movie with Mandalorian, Grogu, is going to come out first. The second movie that's going to come out is going to be the sequel to that movie because it's going to be so successful. That's just the way that it's going to go. Because by then, Kennedy will be out. Bob Iger will say, no, we're not going to do no experimental Star Wars. We're going to forward a sequel because people like The Mandalorian. Even Corey likes it. See?
Yeah. Star Wars is cooked. I'm just going to leave it there. It is really cooked.
Corey, you've heard The Mandalorian more than you've heard The Acolyte, right?
Yeah.
You're muted.
Yes. A lot of my friends that do watch the Star Wars usually talk about the Mandalorian.
Did you know Baby Yoda was called Grogu?
I actually learned that. What was it, last year? Darius. Because I thought they were all Yodas. Actually, no, just kidding. I only thought there was one of them, and I thought that was Yoda. And then they came out with Grogu?
Yeah, so what's the name of the species then?
Ooh.
If you could
no
guess.
one knows. Oh,
You're supposed to say something ridiculous.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I thought Grogu was it was like Baby Yoda, because that's what I was told by mainstream media.
But that's the thing, though. The first episode we see him appear, we didn't know what his name was. The episode just ends, and people for the next 7 days just started using Baby Yoda, and that's why it took off.
Yeah, and then Darius was like, "No, that's not him," and I was shook. I was shook. And then I made a post about it, and then all my Star Wars fans were like, "Oh my gosh, you
Hey, yo,
uncultured
MC,
swine."
you gotta relax. He's
You
still hung up on
uncultured
the
swine.
dark side, seducing people.
On his birthday, the dark side does that one thing that Vader likes, but only on his birthday. It's a little sexy treat.
Look at this. I'm going to show y'all this. Okay, but it's the comments. I was just on Instagram the other day and I saw this shit. The comment section, the comment section is the worst, bro. I would hate to put it on the internet. The comments just flame me. Like the shit that are being said in the comments is so funny. Somebody said, "What kind of side you want with that?" Somebody said they need a Wakanda treadmill.
What was the last one?
They need a Wakanda treadmill. Somebody said I saw. Hold on, bro. I'm telling you this shit. It just had me dying. I was just like, why are the Dora Milaje at Disney built like that?
I think they have more problems than just the Dora Milaje. I seen one of them where they had one of the Disney princesses dressed up, and it was a man.
What?
Not to if that's what you do, that's what you do. Live your life. I ain't in your business. But a Disney princess is a girl, like a binary girl, a cisgender girl, whole girl with girl parts. I don't think I should ever be walking into Disney and see a man with a goatee wearing a Disney princess. That's just my opinion. But
thank you so much for that, Sutherland.
Who was the mother instead of Nakia and Black Panther 2?
Thank you for that.
Yes. Yeah, we still need a recast.
What was it?
We not doing fatherless childs out here. At least not what I would do. She's asking if Storm was the mother of T'Challa's child. We still need a recast of T'Challa. Absolutely.
Oh yes.
Well,
yeah.
Ask.
I would still agree.
Valid question.
Absolutely.
I would definitely still agree.
We just
thank you, Kiefer Sutherland. I didn't eat, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
He's taking me out today.
How do I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, that shit. That I just saw that the other day. It just had me. That was the comments, bro. I didn't even think anything of it until I read the comments. It was the comments. That first one when they said Wakanda side you want, like it's the word play. That shit is. That shit is funny. Maybe I'm the only one with a terrible sense of humor, but oh fuck, that's funny. That's funny. That's some funny shit. Don't have me at Disney World and somebody. I'm telling you, if I go to Disney, I see that. That's the first thing I'm gonna think. Wakanda. Like that's the thing I'm gonna think. So, that's funny.
It's like when I hear now certified lover boy. I don't think about Drake. I think about the next line of the song is certified pedophile.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that shit's funny. Okay, what do we have?
Recast, no matter what, Mr. Sutherland. Like that's just it's a non-negotiable, and it's not like I'll settle for a variant or I'm looking for any other kind of version of a guy whose name is just recast. He's alive now. Recast.
I'm sorry. I'm scrolling.
The next topic here is of Xmen97. Season 3 of Xmen97 is not going to be done by Bo DeMeo. Instead, the Hollywood Reporter tells us that Marvel taps their writer. What's his name? Chauncey? His name is Matthew Chauncey. This is a picture of him right here. Look at this beautiful looking man. And here's TD. Here's that bank that got shouted out on Drake's song. Remember when he said Wagwan Galila TD? That was one of the banks right there. Anyways, says at the time of his exit, damn, I hate when it does that. At the time of his exit, Bo DeMeo had already written the first 2 seasons of Xmen97 and was even discussing loose ideas for a 3rd season. Chauncey will work alongside Jake Castorino. Oh, remember this guy? We remember this guy. That was talking about how T'Chaka, was in the 90s. He'll work along Jake, who has been series director since season 1. Additionally, Larry Houston and Eric and Julia Lewald, executive producers of the original X-Men animated series. Again, they're executive producers, but Larry Houston really didn't have much to do with what we got in X-Men 97. But when you're using old creations from prior, you have to attribute them with producer roles. X-Men 97 has been a huge critical hit for Marvel, with the project receiving the studio's first 100% fresh Rotten Tomato score. By the way, they don't have Rotten Tomato scores anymore for audience. Did you guys hear about that? It all got pulled.
Oh, damn.
You don't have the audience score anymore? It's just critic scores?
Yeah. They
that's
pulled them
stupid.
out of the Acolyte, out of like every Disney show.
That's stupid.
Oh, wait,
Sean?
for just Disney shows, but not for the other shows.
All the shows. All the Disney shows. I was watching Tyrone Magnus flip out over it. He was reacting to it
I
live.
mean, The Boys still has an audience score.
I believe The Boys
whatever.
still has the audience score, yeah, but it was just the Disney ones.
Oh, that's weak.
Yeah. They
Chauncey,
butthurt over there.
Matthew
Jeez.
Chauncey has been a writer on both seasons of What If, the Marvel animated anthology show that deals with the multiverse. We know this. That was it. The last line of the thing says that Deadline was first to report the news of Chauncey's hiring. Good for you guys, Deadline. Look how value you guys are. Wow, Deadline was first. So no, I'm done. Like Bo DeMeo, he's not going to be involved in it anymore. They're probably going to make some changes to season 2 that were really good, that were Bo DeMeo inputs. And
Didn't homeboy Matthew Chauncey write on Thor: Love and Thunder?
oh, he did. Oh, they didn't say he did.
Yeah,
Because why put that on your resume?
Yeah, right. I was about to say.
Why would we even mention that? Like,
But let's set him aside for a second. Let's talk about Bo. A lot of the reaction that I saw to this online wasn't, oh man, what's going to happen to the storyline? Oh man, I hope my favorite character still acts the same. Oh man, I wonder what the new guy has planned for the storyline in comparison to Bo. You know what the main conversation I seen is, oh man, all the queer stuff is going to go away. And I was like, queer stuff? Not realizing that, like, there was a whole nother audience to this show that was watching it for reasons that we weren't watching it.
right.
And so I wonder if they've kind of cut their nose despite their face with Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to fracture the fan base? Because now that I've seen so much of that reaction, I don't really know, because I don't use Twitter to gauge what people actually feel, how much of that audience was really there for the Sunspot storyline, the Koi stuff with Morph and Wolverine, some of the flamboyant costumes that Magneto was wearing. Like, how much of the audience was actually there for that? Because that is a lot of the disappointment that I'm hearing with this guy coming on, is that, oh, well, all that stuff that they had going with Sunspot and
It's because X97 was horny. 97 was horny.
97 was super horny.
It was very adult and very they played on that a lot, and I mean obviously a lot of that has to do with the head writer being gay, but if you go and you look at anything Bo was saying after the show or after each episode, I remember specifically someone brought up to him the outfit Magneto was in when they had him stretched out and he was just in, I think it was just his underwear. Somebody said, you can definitely tell, and tagged him, that a gay man wrote this show, to where his reply was, oh yeah, what'd he say? I don't want to get his words wrong. Oh yeah. there was a lot going on during the writing of this episode. So I don't know, with that, you're not gonna have that. I mean, you're not.
Imagine that you would, yeah, because the person running the show now, that's not their reality.
Yeah. So it's the things and this was my question and concern at the end of season 1. We knew he was coming back for season 2, but did they say they're revising some things in season 2, or they're not touching season 2? They're revising some things.
I thought they said that they were revising some things for season 2.
Okay, and see, that's already a red flag because season 2 is already done. From what we understood, from what Bo was, because Bo was on that fucking Twitter campaign talking to everybody. From what we understood and what he said, he did seasons 1 and he did seasons 2. He was not involved with seasons 3. So it's already a red flag when you have a phenomenal season 1 and you have season 2 already completed by the phenomenal writer for season 1. And you're now going to tweak it to circumvent into what you're trying to do with season. I don't think that's a good idea. Again, we don't know what Bo did, but I also don't think that I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did, but, and I don't know if it's ever going to come out. But would it not have just been easier, again, not knowing what he did, to just be like, let's get this brother back in here because now you're about to have somebody from What If? What If?
What If? Okay.
Which is storylines that don't have to build to anything, which is just you can do anything you want here with Doctor Strange. And here's your chance to do it with zombies. Now let's check it out with Captain Marvel.
That's terrible. What If? The show that I've said since day one, what if you spent all that money on something else and energy on what if? The show that you've said since season 1 that all of this is supposed to connect into your sacred, that show that's so disconnected.
With so little comic book richness. And Bo DeMeo was adapting comic books, making slight changes, but giving you comic book material that worked and saying, oh, we can animate this. And then there's the what if guy, Matthew Chauncey.
It's not going to be received well. I don't think that, and you're not going to have it's not going to be the same theme or tone or anything that it was written in when Bo was doing it, because you're like Mike Marcus said, that's the big point. It's not Chauncey's reality. Chauncey's not living in the LGBTQ community. He's not having those experiences. He's going to write from his perspective of what he's read from X-Men and what he got from it. Things like, I'm telling you, it's not going to be the same. And that was my concern from the beginning. That was my concern. Everybody's like, oh, well, you're still going to have all the other writers or other brilliant. And that's true. There were other brilliant writers. But when you got the director that's coming out and saying, well, that's a different universe with T'Challa, is it not? I mean, I saw. No. When does this shit come out? It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a red flag and it's a problem. And they don't want to admit that it's a problem. They're going to sit out here and tell you in your faces in all these interviews. Brad Winterbaum's going to get out and tell you how magnificent the animation is. Oh, and the voice actors are still on key and they're coming back in the same strong formula they came in. But the writing's not. They're going to omit that. They're going to tell you, oh, Chauncey's great. That's what they're going to say. Same thing they said about Todd, whoever the fuck is directing Eyes of Wakanda. Oh, he's great. That's the only thing they've said about this man. That is the only fucking thing. He's great. So that's the only thing they're going to say about Chauncey. He's great. Here's season 2.
If what y'all think is going to happens, that will be the fastest fumble of any project I think Marvel has ever done. To go from insane popularity, like exceeding expectations, to wow. Like,
exceeding expectations heavy.
Far.
Yeah.
Mando didn't even fall that quickly.
Yeah.
With edits to season 2, maybe it'll be a gradual decline because season 2 is going to be mid, and then we get to season 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's something you mentioned about his tweets, and here it is. Where was the Storm moment? You literally ignored her electromagnetic control, limited her, and we remember this.
Mm-hmm. I remember this.
His response to it was, there was more to Black Power and pride than action and violence. So keyword pride. I find that the word diversity, and there's these open words that are broad, that cover representation. Representation is actually another one of the words, actually. When you're talking about skin tone, and you're talking, and that's what this guy was talking to him about, and he hit us back up with, yeah, but what about pride? Which I associate that term with gay representation. I can see the same thing happening here, where they'll pull the gay stuff that Bo DeMeo had inserted and say, no, but don't worry, we're taking care of people who speak with hand sign language representation. So we're definitely taking care of it. We're still diverse. You see what I mean? Like it'll dilute. It'll
swap one box for another box.
Yeah.
Because we use the word diversity, and diversity can mean anything that's just not the same. Diversity just means a uniqueness from there, uniqueness from there. And Bo DeMeo thought that way when he was being pressed on for Storm, and he's like, yeah, but we do great gay things. Now we're talking about Storm.
Yeah, fam. Yeah, that's not what we talking about. This is not what we talking about.
And so the same thing can be done here.
Absolutely. I don't think that their issue is necessarily. They don't have a problem being diverse. They don't even really have a problem representing a lot of different groups at once. They have a problem representing one group. One. It's just it. Like I'm not. Now I done gave him enough praise and said that maybe they made a mistake by firing him because the show was good. Let's get back to reality here. They had no problem writing.
Here's the tough combo.
Writing Jean Grey. They had no problem writing Cyclops, Wolverine, Morph, Magneto, Charles, Lilandra, Lilandra. Sorry. Who else was in the show?
Everybody.
Cable was fine. Yeah, everybody. You know who wasn't fine? Sunspot, Storm, and Bishop. You know who was furthest away from their actual characters? Sunspot, Storm, and Bishop.
Here it goes.
Had storylines that didn't actually happen in the comics, happen in this show.
Which
Bishop,
three?
Storm, and Sunspot. So we don't have a problem with showing our diversity. We don't have a problem with a balancing act of representing women and representing gay people and representing gay men and representing lesbian women and what have you. We don't have a problem with any of that. Bo DeMeo had a problem representing the skin that he wears. So it's like, let's narrow these problems down. Now, do I think Homeboy from What If is going to be doing any better?
No.
I wouldn't put my money there. So we're kind of at a loss, really. And now the only thing that changes is that we're getting further away narratively from what was planned by Bo DeMeo. I don't think the narrative was his problem. I think the characters that shared his melanin just didn't really jive with his pen. For some reason, it wasn't working when he had to write those characters.
And Matthew Chauncey's melanin levels is 25% or
a lot lower. A lot lower.
Oh no, they're still not going to get any shine here. They're still not going to get any shine here. There was a comment. There was a comment that was left on the Black Panther video we did a couple days ago, and someone was going back and forth with someone else. But I guess the guy that he was going back and forth with used to work for Marvel, and he had said, "Oh, Sir Yuri G, I haven't seen you in a minute, so appreciate you being here." But I'm sorry. Anyway, so he was saying how, what was the last thing I said?
Someone
I don't
was going
even.
back and forth.
Yes. So anyway, dude in the comments, thank you. Dude in the comments said he worked for Marvel. With the dude he was going back and forth with, and I'm not going to say the whole because it was long, but he said that Storm. They were listing off the 10 most important Marvel characters when he was there for blah, 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 blah. Storm was 4. Black Panther was, I think he said number 6 or something like that.
Wait.
So that's what he said. That's what he said.
Storm was 4 and Black Panther was 6.
That's what he said. So I was like, okay, yeah, Storm is a very important character. And kind of when he said that, I was thinking to myself, kind of like the rumor that, I don't know how true this is, but the rumor that they were going to put emphasis on Storm when she is brought into the MCU. She's going to be majorly important. I guess you could put her in the vein of like an Elizabeth Olsen type. That's the way that they've been talking about when Storm comes into the MCU. Now, Do I think that Storm's going to be represented in the MCU that way? No. Do I think that Storm's going to be represented that way in Xmen97? No. Do I think Xmen97 is going to all of a sudden put this emphasis on Bishop, Storm, and Sunspot now that we've got Chauncey in here? No.
They made Bishop a taxi driver.
Yes.
He was a future Uber. And to explain myself, you're on the Storm side. Not just the disappearing act, right? Like that she wasn't literally there in the show for 2/3 of it. But the fact that none of that attention to detail, that staying true to canon, all of the stuff that made us love the show for the other characters didn't apply to Storm. That's what got to me. Right? Like the whole thing about, I wish I knew what it was to be human. What? Huh? What are you talking about? What are you saying to me? Do mutant powers manifest differently in Xmen97 too? We know we can have split off universes, even though we're all within the 90s universe, but it's just a certain, episode that wasn't part of that universe. But do the mutant powers manifest differently? Because I thought you get them in your premature ages, your formative years, when you're becoming a teen. So meaning she would have been a human for her entire life leading up to that, right?
Yes.
And again, doesn't happen with any other characters except Sunspot, who has a completely different backstory. No father, nowhere to be seen. Or he has one. I think he does get mentioned. He just doesn't show up in the show. But he's not the crusading civil rights.
It's not the backstory from the comics.
It's not the civil rights activist that he was, the Afro-Brazilian civil rights activist that he was. That's not even part of his story arc anymore. And we can't even break down Bishop because he wasn't on screen long enough for us to ascertain what's going on with him.
Man.
So that's where I'm coming from.
And I do something I've said since, again, I always bring it up. When we made that video, I think episode 3 or episode 4, we got so much shit in the comments for me saying that I didn't think that Storm was, what's going on with Storm? Where's her screen time? What's going on with Sunspot? All that Bishop, everything that we were saying. The issue I have with Storm, there were dope scenes we've talked about them. Bring the forecast, dope. I think that's, does it stop there? I'm really hard pressed trying to think. There were things with Storm that I liked, but I really have to agree with what's his name on Twitter, the Mammy, that she was more of a cheerleader than anything. She was more of a cheerleader. Yes. Marcel, she was more of a cheerleader than anything. There was I think it was the finale or both the second to the last episode and the finale. When she got knocked out of the air after she said, we'll go handle them out here, Forge and I will handle them out in the air, and she got knocked out of the air. I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's about to conjure that water or something, and really, no, she went underwater, and we didn't see her till the next episode. When we saw her the next episode, she was in the clutches of the Sentinels. And she was even in the clutches of the Sentinels cheerleading for Bastion. And that is Storm. That I get that's Storm. But she was still cheerleading for Bastion to see the humanity in Bastion. Like, you're this, you're that. But at that moment, bro, you had a very Omega level mutant moment right after that with Jean, where she became the Phoenix again. Why can't Storm bring the forecast? She's an Omega level fucking mutant. And every time we saw Storm, she was giving pep talks. She was trying to get her groove back. She was getting chased down by and I understand the story there with the demons over and conquering that and over. I get that. But again, why does that have to be Storm's storyline?
Well, look at how he explained it. Look how he explained it, right? Like there's more to Black Power than just violence or something like that, right? So there's more to being black and powerful than just violence. So there's nothing else to being Asian and powerful because Jubilee sure used her powers. There must be nothing to being Jewish and powerful. Magneto, he blacked out the entire Earth.
Right.
Why are there rules that work for us, Bo, that don't apply to the rest of the characters in the show? And
He
why is
already
it
answered
you
your
that's
stupid
dictating
question. No, he already told you this show has pride.
But you let everybody else tell you, calm down. You're overreacting. You do know there's another season. I'm sorry, but this was during episode 3 and 4 when we were complaining. You do know there's other episodes.
You guys remember when I was saying, guys, there's more episodes to come. Like, it's an ensemble cast. Everyone's gonna have their show. So like sometimes it's the so and so. At least we have a reason.
They were doing.
I was saying that Storm is away from the screen, and there's gonna be some episodes that are gonna focus on Nightcrawler and Rogue instead. So at least we have a reason she got depowered. Next time we see her, we'll get and not really. It was kind of cool to see her slap Forge, right? That was all right. That was a moment.
It was all right.
The Bastion conversation was too much.
Yeah, like I said, it's strange, but it's not strange when you know the formula, when you know that this is something that they've done time after time after time after time again, and that's why when we have these conversations on Twitter and we're being told, well, there are black heroes in here, that is. First of all, it's a slap to the face for you to tell me that there are black superheroes. When you're saying that, you're telling me that I'm supposed to be looking up to, again, I'm going to say this every fucking time, Sam Wilson's humanity. I'm supposed to be looking up to what with Rhodey? What? Where's he? He's got no show. Ironheart shows pushed back. What's going on with Nick? You know, Samuel Jackson asked one of the most brilliant questions. You know, we've all asked that same question too. Why don't the brothers get to interact with one another in the MCU? You know, why haven't we had a scene where all the brothers are bouncing? Because that is, again, it's that pushes against the narrative they want to show. That you can't have 4 strong black niggas. No. Smart too? Oh no. And some of them might say something funny to really get the credit. No. You can put Thor, Iron Man, Hawk fucking Eye, and Captain America in that conversation though. And that's fine. And the same thing is, you know, the question like, why weren't any of them at T'Challa's funeral? But everybody and them.
I saw
that is so
today.
Crazy. That's disgusting. Everybody showed up to that goddamn lake house and packed it out for Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
We got CNN announcements about T'Challa's death, and no one showed up.
Because the Wakandans were such nationalists and they were like racist, they didn't include anyone else. That's what I saw.
Bullshit. Steve Rogers pulled up to go check on Bucky while he was in cryostasis over there. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. You brought a whole ass
check up on Bucky. I think we can have the Avengers there to see T'Challa off.
Right,
seeing as how he held the world battle on his soil, his sovereign soil, that he didn't have to do.
He did more than that.
No, guys, in Infinity War, you got to follow these exact coordinates, everybody, and then we can get the Quinjet into Wakanda. Well, now that Steve Rogers isn't around, they couldn't make it to Wakanda for the funeral. That's why.
That's some bullshit. Because they seem to can come to Wakanda for anything else.
Still showed up. What the fuck was Bucky at?
Bucky? Yeah, the White Wolf, right?
Hey, we can't figure out how to get this stone out of this android's head, but Wakanda can. Hey, Ross has got a bullet shoved in his back. We can't get it out. But Wakanda can.
They say paralysis.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Wakanda had a remedy for everything because it's fucking Wakanda. So that's why I'm just like...
unnamed disease.
Yeah.
Strip an ancient herb from your bloodstream.
Yeah. Funny. But that's the thing with I agree with what Mark was saying about Storm, and I've said that, we've been saying that, so I don't think that Xmen97 season 3 is going to be in the same vein at all, but we'll just have to wait and see once they drop that show. Season 2 too, if they're revising shit. Season 2 also.
Big Dog Gaming, welcome. We need more good black writers in the MCU. Just having a black writer is not good enough for me. It sounds like he's saying there's a difference between representation and attendance. I agree with this.
It is. It's that conversation of like Are you black? You know the conversation you have with
all kinfolk or not all
skin folk. There you go. Not all skin folk is kinfolk. I used to say that all the time about Nate Moore. Not all skin folk is kinfolk. So that is so
Nate
true.
Moore,
You got
great.
Right.
Oh, okay. Spider-Man Noir. That is coming out. That actually seems like it might actually be interesting because they might be it's actually Spider-Man. It's Sony actually using. We're not getting, young, vibrant Peter Parker. This is Peter Parker. It is Nick Cage. It's Nick Cage. And it's 1930s New York. This is the little synopsis they had for it. Spider-Man Noir series tells a story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator, Nick Cage, in 1930s New York, who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. So he's the only hero. Supposed to have rumored Sandman showing up. The main villain of the show is supposed to be played by Brendan Gleeson. Dude, I know him most from Troy. Agamemnon, I think is what he played. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good season or a good show. It's only going to be 8 episodes. And it's Nick Cage. So I think it's going to be pretty good. And it's Spider-Man. They're using him. They're actually using him.
I was going to say, we always yelling at Sony to stop making Spider-Man projects without Spider-Man. So I guess
they go. They
kind of
said,
answered.
all right,
They kind of answered it. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Alternate universe Spider-Man. I'm with it. I like Nick Cage. As long as he doesn't read every line like this.
Right. Yeah. They said it's
give me National Treasure Nick Cage for this instead of like Con Air or The Rock or anything where he has to gone in 60 seconds. He gotta talk like this all the time.
He just needs to do it the way he did it in how he voices animation. Just come in, do that live action.
Yeah,
Boom. Do you. It's supposed to have monsters in it, I guess. I don't know what that consists of. But it's a dark reimagining of the classic Spider-Man. That's what they've got. So I'm wondering if this is going to be black and white.
That's exactly my question.
I kind of hope so.
Huh?
Really?
it would help with the whole setting, right?
It would help. It's 1930s. But are we sitting through 8 episodes? I'm going to be honest with you. Werewolf by Night, that was a little
too long.
But what if they did like a hybrid situation where like some things were colored, like the blood was colored,
or it can like slowly start to come into color. Like some of the later episodes will be in full color.
That could work. I mean, they did that with.
If we come out of commercial break from black and white, and then 10 seconds later the color is back on for each commercial, then yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, but is that not? I don't know. I feel like it's a bit jarring to go from scene to scene. Like, damn, okay, black and white. Okay, damn, we back in color. Like, damn, bam, black and white.
All right, begin every episode with a black and white scene, and then the rest of the show is in color. Huh?
Or what if they do the show in color and then his perspective in black and white?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So it's not 100% of the show, but 90% of the show is color.
WandaVision started out, the first 2 episodes were entirely in black and white.
That is true. I forget that.
And then they slowly
pissed me off.
led the color into it. I don't know why.
I was confused.
Like they didn't know we was in the middle of a damn TV show while the shit was going on.
Well, I was just like, okay, when does this end? Do we get some color?
And I liked it because it literally took us into a new place. Sin City is awesome. Sin City is an awesome movie, and it's entirely in black and white.
That's what I was kind of thinking of. You know how they do kind of like the blood was red. Like there was just certain parts that were colored. So
I could see it.
It wasn't so black and white.
Like if a girl had on a red dress, Eva Mendes, she had on a red dress at some point in there. It was all red, but everything else was black and white. I could do something like that.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. That I could see working. Yeah, so that's it's coming out. I don't know if it comes out. I don't even think they started shooting yet. But I think it's going to. I think they're aiming for that 2026 or 2025 date later in 2025. So I think they're aiming for with it. But it's actually Sony doing Spider-Man. So I was like, that's worth mentioning because who knew they would actually ever do Spider-Man?
Now, level your expectations. It's still Sony.
It's still Sony.
Good. Sounds like it's executable. but there's a lot of things that were executable by Sony that didn't get done. So let's watch it and give them where can we watch this? What is it going to premiere on? Sony doesn't have a streaming service, so
they don't. I think it's Amazon Prime. I think it's what it's going to be on. I think it's going to be on Prime.
That kind of makes me feel a little better.
More adult.
Oh, that's what you mean?
Yeah.
More adults, you can do more with it.
Would it be a slightly bigger budget because it's like going through Amazon, or no? Like, how does that work?
I don't think their shows have all that big of budgets.
Does The Boys not have a big budget?
I thought The Boys had a pretty big budget. Even their first season, I thought was.
I don't know where they spending it. Maybe casting. I was about to say it ain't. They're not doing anything that looks too impressive. Even with the power thing, you know.
So you're saying the milk was a practical effect? Somebody off camera was just
spraying spraying it. Yeah, hell yeah.
That shit was wild. I was like, I don't know if I need to like look away, but I can't. You know when you just see something so disturbing and you want to look away, but you're just locked in. Like you're just invested at this point. Like
they doing that to you on purpose. It's shock value at this point over narrative. They're just not writing.
Literally every time I watch an episode, I'm just like this for like more than half of the show.
Yeah, that too much for me.
I didn't watch. I haven't seen the last episode yet, but I did watch last week's. I did not like last week's.
I didn't watch.
Last week's was like I was like, what are we doing now?
I did watch last week's.
Where he was in the basement?
No, which one was the milk?
You talking about Homelander, where he went back to where he was at?
No. That episode was good. I'm talking about where Huey was dressed up as the little Spider-Man knockoff.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Like everything about that episode.
Yeah, I did not like that episode. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
I didn't like a single thing. I didn't like the jabs of Batman, even though I usually like jokes against Batman because Batman fans get extra upset. But like, I didn't like the take. I didn't like what they did to Huey. I felt like that was a bit much for y'all to do right off the heels of him losing his dad. Laz Alonso has sex with somebody's wife. I don't know if it was Kripke or somebody else in the writer's office, but he definitely had sex with somebody's wife because these humiliation takes that they have him going through for the last 2 seasons are really turning me off. Sister Sage is the biggest dud of this show so far. She had the biggest potential, and she's an absolute dud. She's a troll. That's what she's all. That's all she's given us so far is social experiments. Ooh, what happens when I drop 3 dead bodies in the middle of the street? Ooh, let's start up Twitter wars. Let's get Starlight to beat up Firecracker. How the hell is this supposed to help you take over the world? How's anything you doing taking over the world?
The last episode she was in, I was like, girl, I feel like you're not staying focused on your objective here. Like,
and then when she have downtime, she give herself a lobotomy so she can watch reality TV and have sex with the deep. What are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
that lobotomy was kind of. That was like, oof.
Oh, don't even get me started on A-Train. Did you know A-Train's been on the show for 4 seasons? 4 seasons he's been on the 7. Never saved a single person.
No.
Not one.
Have any of them? Like, aren't
Starlight? A-Train. I would think Starlight.
But aren't the saves fake?
Starlight saved some people.
Aren't the saves like set up?
Not all of them. Starlight has definitely came into contact with some criminals. Maeve as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we've ever really verified anything with Noir. Deep. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
No.
Who else? Fucking.
You damn sure know Homelander ain't saving nobody.
See, oddly enough, though, I feel like he's the only one that would have legit saves. Because there are real life, like, world saving scenarios that they would go through that they expect him to take care of because he's Homelander. And you gotta think, prior to like season 3, when the racist Nazi girl came into play, Homelander wasn't running himself. True. He wasn't running himself. Old girl with the booby milk was running him. And then homeboy that was running VOT was running him. He wasn't running himself for a long time. He's only now gotten to this point of autonomy where he's making his own decisions. So,
and his son is turning into him.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
a sad thing to watch. It makes me so sad.
Yeah, Ryan.
I'm like, Butcher, you had one fucking job, bro. Like, come on, bitch. You had one.
that was
fucking
that was
job.
the only one of his saves that was rigged. He had to confirm that his saves were fake to his brother and the kids. He can't. He's not speaking for everyone else in the 7.
True.
How many episodes are left?
He should have told his
this
nephews.
season?
He was like, "Don't come around this dude no more. He's a liar. Tell them that none of your saves were real."
Oh yeah. With
He was talking about
A-Train.
him.
Yeah. That's true.
You know,
That is
Anthony
true.
Starr has like drama that nobody talks about, right? Like unlike
Yeah.
Jonathan
Let's get
Majors,
to it.
Yeah,
Let's get
yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of drama.
the boys leaker VOT HQ accuses Anthony Starr of abusive behavior on set and bullying. Isn't that crazy how this guy has like this, but nothing is on his Wikipedia page? If I go to his Wikipedia page and when it says like personal life or drama or nothing, all it says is, in March, it was reported that Starr was arrested in Spain after assaulting a 21-year-old man at the local club. He was sentenced to a 12-month suspended prison sentence and paid $5,000. Nothing here. Compare this to the way Jonathan Majors was being treated off of some guys who said that they worked with him and they said that he was mean back in the days. That was out being everywhere, and then Anthony Starr gets nothing.
Now we know why.
Anthony Starr could have done nothing, and Anthony Starr could have been an innocent man, and these are all rumors, and I'm fine with treating it that way. But the behavior is not consistent. Jonathan had to suffer for that.
Yeah, and we
Like
know
Gary
why.
said, we know why.
We know why he had to suffer, because when it's white, it's right. They don't.
They
I'm
talk
telling
back to
you. It's the same thing, bro. When I've said this before, I said this with Jonathan Majors the first time. We step outside the lane that they have predestined for you, especially even in Hollywood. And in Hollywood, when you step outside that lane and you are starting to be this black savior or this role model, and on top of that, you're a male, no. He had everything going for him. We were just before all that shit talking about all of Major's projects he had and how all those projects were going to really catapult him, and how we just watched him in what was it?
Creed 3.
Well, what was it
Creed.
before that? Before
Ant-Man.
Creed? No, it was before all that.
The Harder They Fall.
The Harder They Fall. We watched him and he got a lot more attention there because a lot of people didn't even know who he was, even watching The Harder They Fall. He had the movie that really didn't do that great,
Devotion.
All of that. It was good. Numbers wise, just didn't do that great. But he was on the come up, and then boom. So of course let
me shift the topic. Okay, we all agree here.
Yeah, I was about to say the contrast is crazy. The
Yeah,
contrast is insane between these two situations.
And then the support that I see, lack of support. So, did you guys see what happened with Michael Ealy?
yes,
This
crazy.
This is somebody who has it in slow motion. Where is it? Right here. Start the video. He has it in slow motion. You're gonna see Jonathan Majors' hand. Did you see Majors' hand? Greeting him. Do you see how Michael Ealy hugged Jonathan first, and then he went over to Megan Good, okay? And he lifted up Megan Good. Everyone's like, "Oh, look!" Sorry, I'll talk. Everyone's like, "Oh, look how he hugged."
He didn't dap him up. Yeah, he's literally coming off of hugging Jonathan before he hugs Megan. Like, do y'all really think that she would sit there and look at this man come over, grab her, pick her up, and then ignore her dude? What kind of goofy games do y'all think it be being played out here? If you was somewhere out with your lady and some dude walked up to her, grabbed her, pick her up off her feet, then put her back down and totally ignore you and move on to the next person to dap up, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But if you start the video at exactly this point, then it looks like, oh my God, he hugs Megan, and then dude on the left is gonna start talking, and Michael Ealy will just completely ignore Jonathan. Oh, hey, what's up? You just play it like that, and all of a sudden the internet is gonna internet. You ignore.
Yeah, people love it.
What is wrong with people? Look further. Did I just get rid of the screen? I'm sorry, but do you remember how when he was dancing, people were like making fun of him there? If you go to the shade room, I don't know why that place exists. So here, the quote on the Twitter thread is, LMFAO, Jonathan Majors ain't got a modern era bone in his body. And he's just dancing to the song.
He said he ain't got a modern era bone in his body.
And
I mean, look, man, how much are you going to attack somebody for like being a bad
existing?
Dancer? Like, I was like, fam, okay, so you don't like his dance moves. What are you gonna do? You gonna string him up because he can't dance? Because he got suspenders on? Because he wears weird bowler hats? Leave this man alone.
Yeah. No, it's
Christ. How much time have you invested into looking over this man? There's people on the internet now trying to talk about Jonathan Majors has made Megan Good less attractive. I never thought I'd see the day that Megan Good lost some of her sauce. Look what niggas do to you.
Yeah.
The comment section on the Shade Room doesn't disappoint. I mean, it always disappoints. Sure. Dance like he just received his freedom papers. Man, this brother too talented.
I'm telling you, the comment section be. Oh.
I don't want to sound like I'm too judgmental. I understand jokes. I understand funny. I understand everything. But the ordeal that this man went through, dude should have had much more support than. And I'll read a couple more of these because I do want to entertain everybody. Man, this brother too talented.
Is he a Q? Omega Sci-Fi. Is he in a fraternity?
Yale University.
I'm sure he went to Yale then. No.
Yeah, probably not. But it's just the way he throwing his hands a little bit. It looks like he's trying to throw the hook.
Probably wanted to be one of them. He probably used to want to be one of them. Probably used to watch him and be like, my brother's fucking. Yeah,
Megan do that and stomp the yard?
She was she an AKA in Stomp the Yard?
Megan Good was in Stomp the Yard.
It could have been an Easter egg, see?
My mom was an AKA. So I'm pretty sure I think Megan was an AKA because I remember my mom doing
they didn't do real fraternities. They didn't do real fraternities in there.
Oh, I thought they did. Oh, I thought they had real fraternities in there. They did not.
You might have seen some real fraternities as extras, like around at some of the parties and shit like that. It might have been some actual Greeks in there. But the ones that were highlighted, like the Theta News, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, no, I knew that wasn't.
The Thigh Kais, the little snake motherfuckers, yeah, those aren't real.
Ripping Theta. Bro, that was my shit. I fucking love Stomp the Yard. That was my shit.
Across that floor. I knocked over plenty of furniture trying to recreate.
Man,
furniture.
I used to love Stomp the Yard.
Marcus, do not disrespect the cues like that. Ooh.
He said, "Say something." He said, "Say something."
About
you can address me by my line name. Since you over here Q repping.
Now I did see this.
This is the Jonathan Majors portion of it.
I appreciate Dr. Umar so much because he's unapologetically black. Like he's annoyingly black. And that's how I feel like I come off the floor. So I can appreciate that. But he gets into these rants and you can just count the seconds until it comes where he about to say something stupid. Right? Like it'd be talking about economics, and then all of a sudden, but black people don't need reparations. We don't spend our money good, so we don't need reparations. But there's like all this money in the black dollar in the black community. We got trillions of dollars in the black community, but we don't need no more because we don't spend good. Public education is the white man's school. It's your kids is being indoctrinated into whiteness. But it's taken me more than a decade with all these damn donations to get my own school off the ground. I've been talking about public education like a dog for 10 years. but I have provided you no alternatives with the donation money that you sent me. All the gifts and donations.
I'm so on Dr. Umar's side, especially on the school thing. It's gonna take a long time, right? Like he said in this interview that it could be inspected.
It doesn't take that long. It doesn't take as long as it's taken him.
Okay.
With the money that he's sure to have collected and the amount of time that he's done it. And he never really has a clear answer as to why there's not a structure for us to walk to and send our kids to.
Because the floors aren't clear, and the inspection is going to happen this summer if the floors get done on time, and they're clear.
Okay, you're joking. You trolling.
No. I really wasn't joking. I meant that. That's what he said in the interview. And that's the next.
He's been raising money for 10 years. What's wrong with the floors?
So I don't know how much money he's raised. I didn't look at it.
I don't know how much he's raised either, but I know since I was in high school, Dr. Umar been running around asking people for money to open up the school.
Cool. Once the school is done and it's completely independent, why are we laughing? Like it's not gonna happen.
I want it to happen, but I also want not to give money to a charlatan. So like you have to show me something to prove that we're going somewhere,
Okay. Well, the building exists. There is some tangible item. I want to just finish the quote though. Like we're kind of off the Jonathan Majors topic because he kept saying something. Deal with her that if you are our witness, you can come back from London. We're gonna drop all those charges. Don't worry about anything. And you can. And that was the first question that Jonathan's lawyer asked when she was on the set. Did you guys make a deal in order for you to be the witness here? That you would get your charges dropped because you were arrested. The police did have probable cause. They took you in. You had a desk ticket to appear and all that. So the support that we just saw from Dr. Umar was fantastic. And there was a couple of comments on the Shade Room on the side that were for it. And then there was a lot of them making fun of Jonathan Majors, and that needs to come to an end. Like, who's his Coretta Squad queen? Ha ha ha.
I don't give money to Marvel Critical Mass.
Is it because of Jonathan Majors? Like, will you, once they hire Jonathan Majors, they recast T'Challa, is Marvel back on the I can support them?
I stopped supporting them because they were feeding us trash. It wasn't even necessarily the anti-black stuff, which I guess sounds weird, but it just kind of came to a head of me being disappointed. So I stopped buying their stuff, and I don't pay for Disney Plus. I don't go see their movies at the theater.
Yeah. My thing is there needs to be a cause and an effect. They need to be rewarded when they recast T'Challa.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh, child, it looks like it's about.
I'm mad at them, so I'm gonna take money from them or boycott. My money will not go to them. They're producing bad things. So that's something that's bad, and the way I respond is with my dollars. Now, should they make things right? Eyes of Wakanda, if they do recast T'Challa, maybe the day Eyes of Wakanda happens, I subscribe to my Disney Plus to send that message. I need to be able to use my dollars, not just to take it away from them, but then also when something's good, you're rewarding them.
I'm not watching Eyes of Wakanda. Eyes of Wakanda won't have my eyes. I'm not watching that.
Right. The day Jonathan Majors gets recast, the day Jonathan Majors is back on screen, we approve of this. It was a good decision, Marvel. How do we express that if it's not with our money? Would we send it a tweet?
That's always been the biggest thing. How do you? Because as I've said before, and when it comes to the Black Panther franchise, of course, I'm not invested. They don't get my money. As the reason why I'm not invested in the Eyes of Wakanda. That's the reason why I'm not, anything Black Panther related in the MC, like the Okoye shit, if that's even happening. Okoye series, Midnight. I don't give a shit about any of that, and I won't be paying attention or watching any of that, or giving my money to any of that. But as I've said before, there are things within Disney. Under the Disney umbrella outside of Marvel. And for me personally, Star Wars, you can keep your Marvel shit. Star Wars is that is my nerdy sanctuary. So as long as that is under the Disney Plus umbrella, as much as I hate the Acolyte and everything else new that they've done, I will Star Wars Lucasfilm will get from me, even though I'm still wearing that clown mask because they keep disappointing me. Will get my love.
Bad Batch was disappointed.
Oh yes, Bad Batch disappointed me personally. I thought the very first episode, the hour-long Order 66 episode they gave us was phenomenal. But all the other episodes felt like, I was in middle school going to Blockbuster, renting a game and trying to beat the game because they were doing different missions every fucking episode. You're going to Sid, like, hey, Sid, what you got for us this week? It felt like a video game. I just completed this mission. Oh, you leveled up. I've got another mission for you. That's what fucking Bad Batch. That's what Bad Batch felt like. So I really hated Bad Batch, but I love Star Wars. So that's why I'm here with Disney. But outside of that, was there anything else? There was something else I was going to say. I forgot. Completely forgot what I was going to say. It had anything to do with any of that either. I forgot. Damn.
Angel Reese's double streak is at 15 games.
Shout out to Angel Reese.
Yeah, she is doing good. She's always doing good. It's just my thing from the beginning is still the same. I'm still not seeing her as much as I see Caitlyn. That was my point from the beginning. I'm not seeing her as much as I'm seeing Caitlyn.
As you won't.
No, of course. Caitlyn's getting shared on House of Highlights. I have been following House of Highlights forever. I have never seen them post this much about the WNBA. Never. Every time I turn around, it's a new Caitlyn something. Man. Yeah.
She's selling out T-Mobile Arena. She's selling out the Bulls Stadium when she go to Chicago. Like wherever she goes, they have to rent NBA stadiums. Like actual large stadiums for them to link up and play in. So, I mean, you can't deny her popularity. It's getting late. Her popularity. You can't deny it. Do I think that she's a better basketball player than Angel Reese? I feel like it's harder to tell because obviously they play different positions. Caitlyn,
yeah.
She's a far better shooter, but she's not anywhere near as stout. Like she's not. Yeah, she's not driving towards the bucket, useless defending close to the bucket, getting over.
The difference in Angel is a dog. Angel's going to give you. Yeah, she's going to give you that. She's going to give you that dog every game. Caitlyn, she has dog in her, but can she give you that dog? And I'm talking about dog. I'm talking about getting on the ground for the ball, being aggressive. The dirty work, the rebounds, the little shit. Angel does the little things.
Caitlyn needs that person on her team because I think right now, when you kind of look at the NBA landscape and you see what stars do, right, you want a little bit more from Caitlin Clark if you're giving an honest critique, right? Like you want her to be a little bit stronger. You want her to be able to go a little bit longer. You want her to fight over screens a little bit more efficiently. You want her to look a little bit stronger going towards the bucket. Angel Reese, while she's not, I don't think she's as skilled as Caitlin Clark. Like
I agree to that.
Her fundamentals are not as solid. Her will is so much stronger than Caitlyn's. She's not looking at her teammates ready to cuss them out when they dribble a ball off their foot or they take a shot that she didn't want them to take, whether they make it or not. You never gonna see nothing like that out of Angel Reese. Angel Reese is hyping up her other draftee every time she score a bucket. Every time she get her hands on the ball, she hyping her teammates up. She's a leader, as opposed to where Caitlin Clark may be the best player on her team, but she is not the leader of that team.
Right. And this is the last thing I'll say about it because I don't want to turn into a sports because it is late, like you said. But there was I forget Michigan's head coach. Who was Michigan's head coach? I forget.
Dusty May.
Yes, he was doing a interview and he's talking about how he was at he said he was at a AAU game. It was like 8 a.m. He said there were like 8 courts there. He said he went to the first court, kids being AAU kids at 8 a.m., trying to do fancy shit because the coach is watching, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's like, so he said he went to court 2, same thing, went all the way to court 8. He said he's about to go home, went to court 8. He said he saw a kid at 8 a.m. doing all of the little shit, getting on the ground, being a team leader, high-fiving his teammates, hustling, first one back on defense, giving it all. He said he offered that kid that morning. He said, it's not about always, and I used to tell my kids, it's not about, of course, these coaches, when they come to these games, they know all of you can put the ball in the hole, or otherwise, why the fuck would they be here? They're looking at what else do you have in your bag? What else can you do besides put that ball in the hole? Are you getting on the ground? Yeah, to help the team. Exactly. Yeah. All these kids these days are so worried about the stat book. Or, coach, how many points I have? I can tell you how many turnovers you fucking had. But that's getting into that coaching shit.
No, and that's why Derek White was chosen above Jaylen Brown?
No.
Let me give you this story before y'all start ranting about Jaylen Brown.
Oh, no, not ranting about.
I went to hoop on Tuesday, right? Playing a game. We're playing threes. So there is a younger white fellow on the other side who's playing very well, shooting the paint off the ball, right? Like I'm getting kind of frustrated.
As they do.
I'm in his grill and he's putting that thing. It's not even hitting the net. It was really pissing me off. So we lost the first game. Guy didn't say nothing. Good teammate, right? Like cheering on his homeboys when they get a rebound. Oh, good move, Ryan. Good move, Ryan. Oh man, good shot, man. Good shot. Keep shooting. He dapping me up and shit. So we come out for game 2 because I'm definitely not going home now because he just scraped us.
Not Ryan.
Game 2, we scrape him. All of a sudden, it is all of this shit talking going on. I'm a troll. I've scored 12 points on you. Even though we beat them 21-12. Like you had all your points, but we won.
Right.
And it just reminded me, he was younger, he was a lot younger than me, early 20s. But it was like to him, because he was getting buckets, and we beat him third game, by the way, too. We had a trifecta. We had the tiebreaker. I scraped him in the third game too. Hit the game winner and told him to go home.
Okay,
really?
Because I was so invested in that part.
Yeah. Game winner and told him to go home. I was
gonna lose sleep over that one,
because we wouldn't stop talking shit. He was yelling at me. He was really turning it up, and I'm like, oh my god, you are a different person. Yeah. This isn't the white boy I was hooping with. I thought I was talking to Drake. This isn't the white boy we used to know. You was cool when you was hanging with us on the block, but anyways. So we get that out of there, and I'm just realizing, like, yo, he didn't care about nothing other than scoring the points. Like, nothing changed about his game except for the fact that they was losing, and it changed his whole demeanor. So, like that, when I'm talking about being a leader, number one, have the mindset that maybe your personal attributes doesn't stand out above the team success when you're playing a team game. And maybe winning the game is a little bit more important than scoring the most.
Maybe.
You got more wins right now out of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark?
No, I don't know. I don't know the standings.
I'm pretty sure the Chicago Sky just moved ahead of the Indiana Fever.
Okay.
And
they're both all-stars, though, so that's good for them.
They are. That was going to happen.
But it's also realizing, too, not everybody's going to be fucking Mike. Somebody's got to be Scotty. Not everybody can be Mike.
Somebody got to be Rodman. Somebody got to be Grant. Kerr. Yeah. Luke Longley.
Derek White.
Derek White.
Yes, Derek White.
Yeah.
Look, I like Derek White. He's a good hooper. I think he's going to be a good mesh player for the Olympic team. They have enough scorers already. But if you were going to add a guard,
a Celtic guard,
if you were going to add a Celtics guard or guard at all,
yeah,
how the hell did we get to Derek White before we talk about Jaylen Brown? Before we talk about
because Jaylen, well, that's why. Irving? Both of them. It's that narrative. It's that you don't represent what we want to showcase. You niggas are too loose with your mouths.
They're free
we can't. Yeah, we can't. No. We put you activist niggas up there, and no. They don't want that. They don't want that. That's not. No.
You saw what he tweeted to Nike? He said, "Is this what we're doing?"
Yeah, I saw what he tweeted to him.
What's going on with Jaylen Brown now? That man make $300 million.
And then Skip Bayless said, "No, you see," and Paul Pierce was on the panel. And he said, "This was happening. Jason Tatum and him just don't get along. You see."
Hey, if there isn't
Paul Pierce don't
there,
fucking know.
If there wasn't beef there before the summer, there's definitely beef there now.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
think Skip Bayless is just stirring the pot. Paul Pierce shot that down immediately as soon as Skip Bayless said that.
Hear me out. They just won a championship where Jason Tatum in the finals was pedestrian.
He did all right in the last game. He did
if
good.
they don't have Jaylen Brown in that series, they don't dominate it the way that they do.
Why? Because of the defense he's playing on the international player who's going to be in the Olympics this year? Because of that?
That, and also he had the better offensive output when it mattered. Jason Tatum in second half of most of the games in the finals, we got to put out an APB on my boy.
But he did great in game 4. He did.
So if not for Jaylen Brown, the Celtics wouldn't have 18. And so now we entering into Olympic competition. A spot opens up with Kawhi Leonard leaving. Guard, wing combo. You add Derek White?
Derek White fits. He's going to come in. He's going to play his role.
What about
he's not going to talk. That's not what he's going to play his role. When he gets up, he's not going to, he's up there just to be the light skin. He finally cut it all off, brother. He is. That's what he's going to be. That's who he is. They don't want that.
They got Grant Hill to be the one to shoot that stuff down. Just like when Kamala Harris says, stay on that side of the border. It's all, isn't that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Hey, Jaylen Brown, man, we need somebody in LA. Now, LeBron got a couple years.
If they could,
left, and it could be yours, brother. It could all be yours.
If they could, they'd find a way right now to get Kyrie out of the league.
Repeat that?
I said if they could right now, they'd find a way to get that nigga Kyrie out of the league right now. Out of the league. Not just off the Olympic team. They want that nigga gone. I'm trying when is his retirement? That's what they're ready.
Yeah. LeBron, by the way, he was just drafted like this year, so he's probably got like a 20-year career on. So
who?
LeBron James is the Laker?
Not junior.
No, this is the same thing.
LeBron James Senior.
All right. I'm done.
Did you see him getting his ankles broken off last night?
We all said we weren't going to turn this into a sports.
We are down a sports hole.
You're right. Because it could go on forever.
Okay. All right. Hey, bonus topic. Go, Corey. What are we talking about next?
The back of my eyelids.
What's happening on Bad Girls Club?
The back of my eyelids.
No, okay.
Have a good night. You're watching Pantheon Podcast. Subscribe to Chillmonger, where I talked about comic books and why Miles Morales is selling. Look out for that. Subscribe to Back of the Bus. What do you got going on Back of the Bus?
We will be streaming this Sunday afternoon about 5:30. We'll be doing Dubs and L's behind the gate. Check us out.
Myself, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I have some things planned, but who knows? They might be out. They might not. They're planned. I had a reaction plan today because I thought, I was kind of going on the assumption that Brave New World trailer was going to come out today. I had a trailer reaction and the following words already. But hey, so I guess you'll see me maybe Wednesday. I don't know.
Show the cat.
Yeah.
Let's see the cat.
Oh.
Meow. Meow.
Cool.
What's up, kitty cat? Oh shit! You got red eyes, or that's probably just a cat.
Blue.
Blue.
She got blue.
Oh, you got a Marvel t-shirt on the whole time?
Yeah.
No. She changed it.
All right, let's not.
All right, folks.
Peace out.